96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The Prime Minister to meet to protect tourism. Stakeholders strategize in face of bad publicity. Footage from Pirates Cove conflicting with women who claim they were raped and their claims. Devin Charlton breaking a world record. And the Bahamas remembers Andrea Sweeting. It's all straight ahead this morning. And Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, February 12th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning in business, we are talking with UB, teaming up with Cultural Experiences Productions for a pilgrimage to Ghana. We'll get the details about that. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Prime Minister Phil Davis meeting with key stakeholders in the tourism industry to assess the impact of reporting by the international media on crime in the Bahamas and to discuss strategies to familiarize or to minimize the fallout. The international media attention the matter received coming after the United States Embassy in Nassau last month updated its travel advisory on the country, alerting American citizens that there had been an uptick in homicides at the start of the year, primarily gang-on-gang violence, as there's been no incidents against visitors to the country. The media reporting, some of it inaccurate, out of context or exaggerated, triggered concerns about the safety of tourists in the country. Well, the Nassau Guardian understands that the Prime Minister met at his office on Saturday with industry key stakeholders, including the Chief Executive Officer of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, Joy Gibberlew, and the President of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Robert Sands, and senior executives of Bahama Resort. Upon learning of the meeting yesterday, the Guardian contacted Sands, who declined to speak to the details of the private meeting, but who noted industry stakeholders are working closely with the government to ensure the Bahamas' brand is protected. Well, after two American women alleged they were raped by two Bahamian men on a beach at Pirates Cove Zipline and Water Park in Grand Bahama, the company said its surveillance footage conflicts with the women's claims. The women, who are from Kentucky, posted on social media and spoke to several U.S. and international news outlets about the alleged incident. They said that they were disappointed with how Bahamian police conducted the investigation and that they were not offered rape kits. The incident allegedly happened on Sunday, February 4th. Police say two men were arrested in connection with the incident. Well, the company, in a statement last week, saying that when the assault was reported to staff, Pirates Cove and management took swift action to assist the women and ensure their safety. It said, quote, local authorities and paramedics were called to the scene, and Pirates Cove management assisted in identifying and locating the two alleged suspects. In addition, after the police concluded their initial investigation, they assisted transporting the women to their cruise ship after guests refused transportation to the hospital. The statement also says that upon further review of surveillance videos, the allegations made on-site and in subsequent social media posts and news stories conflict with what the time-stamped surveillance videos contain. It says that the lengthy videos of all concerned have been handed over to the local police and will be shared with industry partners as needed. Pirates Cove, a beach bar, zipline and water excursion company on Taino Beach, said it has 16 cameras around the property. Prosecutors say a 20-year-old man committed two murders while he was on bail for attempted murder and firearms charges. Nassau Village resident Raekwon Alexis was on Friday charged with the murders of Christopher Gibson and Courtney Belton, whose street name was 38. Alexis is accused of fatally shooting Gibson by a bar at West End Avenue and Market Street on January 19th. Prosecutors further allege that Alexis, while being concerned with a 21-year-old Step Street resident called Eric Sims, shot and killed 30-year-old Belton. According to police, gunmen ambushed Belton shortly after he pulled up to a home in St. Andrews Beach Estates on February 3rd. Belton, who was on bail awaiting a retrial for a 2015 murder and firearms case, died at the scene. Alexis and Sims didn't have to enter pleas to the murder charges when they appeared before Acting Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. They were denied bail as the magistrate lacks the jurisdiction to consider bail for the offenses. Both men are scheduled to return to court on May 30th following presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. And a 28-year-old man has been sentenced to 45 years in prison after being convicted of murder. Supreme Court Justice Renee McKay imposing the sentence on Dwayne Lodemus last week. Lodemus was found guilty last October of the 2019 murder of Elroy Burrows. He did not show any emotion on learning his fate. McKay said the sentence reflects the time Lodemus spent on remand while awaiting trial. 8 members of the 9-woman jury found that Lodemus gunned down Burrows outside a bar on Mackey Street around 11 a.m. on March 19, 2019. Daniel Gabriel, an off-duty policeman, said he saw a gunman running towards him after he heard about 9 gunshots. Gabriel said the man put the gun into a backpack before he got into the passenger seat of a silver car that didn't have any license plates attached. You can read more about this story in today's Nassau Guardian. And Andrea Sweeting, a cancer survivor who dedicated her life to fighting breast cancer and raising awareness, has died. Her family making the announcement over the weekend. Sweeting headed the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group and had been recognized over the years in various quarters for her untiring efforts to help save lives. In a statement on Sunday, Prime Minister Philip Davis extended condolences to Sweeting's family, describing her as a remarkable woman who was a symbol of hope and resilience for so many across the Bahamas. He said Sweeting will be remembered not just for the battles she fought, but for the hearts she healed. Overseas, Israeli forces rescuing 2 hostages early today, storming a heavily guarded apartment in the Gaza Strip and extracting the captives under fire in a dramatic raid that was a small but symbolically significant success for Israel. The operation killed at least 67 Palestinians, including women and children. That's according to the Palestinian health officials in the beleaguered territory. To assist the rescue forces, heavy airstrikes pounded the area near the apartment in Rafah, a city on the southern edge of the Gaza Strip, where 1.4 million Palestinians have fled to escape fighting elsewhere in the Israel-Hamas war. The raid was celebrated in Israel as a victory in the sluggish battle to free the hostages, with more than 100 captives still held by Hamas and other Gaza militants, and briefly lifted the spirits of a nation still reeling from Hamas's cross-border raid last year. But in Gaza, where civilians have borne a staggering toll since the war erupted on October 7th, the operation unleashed another wartime tragedy with many Palestinians killed or wounded. More than 12,300 Palestinian minors, children, and young teens have been killed in Israel's war against Hamas, according to the health ministry at Hamas-run Gaza. That means minors make up 43% of the total number of 28,176 Palestinians killed so far. About 8,400 women were also among those killed. And 19 priests kicked out of the country, dozens of incidents of harassment and church desecrations, rural areas lacking worship and social services. The situation for Catholic clergy and the faithful in Nicaragua is only worsening in 2024. That's according to exiled priests, lay people, and the Central American country and human rights advocates, the fear of the ongoing crackdown by President Daniel Ortega on the Catholic Church in particular, but not sparing evangelicals as well, has become so pervasive that it is silencing criticism of the authoritarian government and even mentions of the repression of the pulpit. A Nicaraguan lawyer who fled to the United States, Patricia Molina, saying that the silence is getting deeper. Her work recording hundreds of instances of church persecution recently won her an International Religious Freedom Award from the U.S. State Department. She says that many priests believe that if they make reports, there will be more reprisals against the communities. She counted 30 church desecrations in the past year, only a few reported to the authorities. Recently, she heard of a priest who went to the police after a theft in his church, only to be cursed at and told he was a suspect. And Guyana's government saying that it has satellite imagery from friendly Western allies showing Venezuelan military movements near the Southern American country's eastern border with Guyana. Officials claim the administration of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is breaching a peace agreement signed in the Caribbean in December to ease tensions over border demarcation lines. Foreign Minister Hugh Todd and Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad saying Guyana is monitoring the situation across the river border. The two sides have feuded over border lines for decades. Venezuela has been laying claim to the mineral-rich Essequibo region, which covers about two-thirds of Guyana's surface area. They condemned Venezuela for not abiding with the Argyle Agreement signed on the island of St. Vincent in December, in which the two countries agreed not to use force or to threaten each other. The talks are brokered by Brazil and other Caribbean governments. A butterfly stretching his hand and touching the wall in a time of 24.85 seconds, swimming in heat 7 out of lane 9. He was about a second off his personal best time of 23.91 seconds in that event, failing to make the semifinals. He was 8th in his heat and 40th overall. The St. John's Giants had to wait 2 days after lifting the junior boys basketball title to see if the junior girls and senior girls team would do the same, and they did it. They were crowned champions in the BAISS Championships, the Bahamas Association of Independent Secondary Schools. The best of 3 basketball championships wrapped up Friday. The Giants' junior girls team knocked off SAC, the St. Augustine's College Big Red Machine, 15-12 in Game 3 of their series The Giant Senior Girls finished off the top-seeded Kingsway Academy Saints 36-34 in Game 3 of their series.